So my name's Glenn Locke. My business is Mount Caramber Apiculture. I'm based at Nana Glen on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. I run about 100 hives, so I'm a beekeeping minnow in general terms, but that keeps me going, mainly honey, a bit of consulting and a bit of education. The reason I use drone brood trapping is because it's a mechanical method, it's chemical free. So mites are about 10 times more likely to reproduce in drone cells than worker cells because they get an extra replication in there. So what we do is introduce drone frames into the hive. The mites go in there just before day 10. The cells get capped and they're trapped in there from day 10 to day 24. So beekeepers can take advantage of that by taking those combs out, freezing them. Kills the drone brood, but it also kills the mites. So it's just a great mechanical method of mite control. My trapping schedule is based on the schedule of the drone. So I swap the combs over every 24 days. You can do it a little bit earlier if you look in the crystal ball and the weather's not working for you. So you can still take it out between day 10 and day 24, but you're going to miss the stragglers on the lower end. So I like to try and get it out on day 24, and that's when I do a mite wash as well. I'm still experimenting with positioning of the drone combs in the brood box. So I think the best spot is position 2, so one frame off the wall. Some queens, no matter where you put that drone comb, they won't use them. So sometimes I mess around with position 3. A good queen will lay it up in position 1. So you need to fiddle around with that and get it right yourself. Look, I think it'll work in any size apiary. It comes down to breaking your apiary up in manageable groups. So you've got to think about how many drone combs you want to swap over. So for my operation, 100 hives, I've sort of got my apiaries broken up into 10, 15, 20 hives. And that way I can just go through each drop and swap all the drone combs in one hit. Clearly, if you've got a bigger team and trained employees, you could go through a drop of 100 and do exactly the same thing. You just got to scale it up. But certainly it's a great method to use with your non-synthetics, so oxalic acid and the other types of non-synthetics. It works really well with them. There's a few ways you can start with mite trapping. So a simple way is just to put a wired, empty, full-depth comb into your brood box, and the bees will most likely draw drone cells on that. You can buy wax drone foundation these days. You can use that. You can drop what I call a half comb in, just to work a foundation on the top and an empty part of the frame on the bottom. The problem with those methods is you can't get your timing right. It's a little more difficult. I use the green combs, which are the drone foundation green plastic combs. I get them drawn out in the honey super, so I put them in on a honey flow and get them drawn out. I can then introduce all of those frames into the brood box on day 1, and I can pretty well come back through on day 24 and they'll all be at the same stage. So that's why I use the green combs. They're much more durable. I can uncap them, clean them out and reuse them. So that's why I use the green comb. There's some thought that you can just take that comb out of the freezer and thaw it and let the bees clean it out. I think that's a lot of hard work for the bees to do, and all that dead protein in there is a great place for small hive beetle to replicate. So I'd really warn against that. So it's a much better practice, I believe, to uncap them, knock the dead brood out and wash it out with a hose, let it dry and then reintroduce it back into the beehive. Yeah. Understand its limitations. So you can't use mite trapping in winter because the bees just aren't making drones. If you're washing and not finding mites, it's pointless using it. So use them as a treatment and introduce them when you meet a certain threshold, rather than just putting them in as a preventative, I guess what I'm saying. Working through Varroa in my bees, so my first mite was found on the 18th of August 2024, and the combination of mite trapping and organic treatments kept my mite loads pretty low, and it wasn't until about April this year, April 2025, that my mite count started going up. So very quickly, just with the natural mite build-up and reinfestation, my mite counts hit 30 and 40 in April, and I just got overwhelmed. So that's one of the limitations of mite trapping and the organic treatments, is you will get overwhelmed in that initial reinfestation phase. So in April 2025, I put Varroa in all my hives. I just realised I was getting overwhelmed. They were in there for the 8 weeks, which dropped my mite loads back to 0. And what are we now? October 2025. I've been washing zeros in my hives since July. So I think drone brood trapping is a great mechanical method for anyone that's got bees. It's not the saviour, it's not something you can rely on its own, but it's a method, a mechanical method and a chemical-free method that will put off the need to use synthetics. So any hurdles you can put in place in front of Varroa before you got to use synthetic chemicals is a good thing. So it's worth your while just trying mite trapping and seeing how it goes in your business. But yeah, I'd recommend it for anyone to give it a go.